I'm Beth Jones, stylist and digital creator, and you are currently hanging out with me in my dress up closet. And today I'm bringing you a new episode of Thrift Like a Stylist. This is a series that I do here on my channel where I break down the trend reports, but we do it in the thrift stores. So I share the inspiration, the ideas behind it, and then we head into a thrift store, we try to find it, and then even chat through some different styling ideas. So I'm so excited to bring you today's Thrift Like a Stylist. Before we head to the thrift store, I want to introduce you to today's sponsor, which is Brew. Brew is a high fiber dietary supplement all about helping with gut and microbiome health. I always feel like fall is almost like a new year for me. It's the reset time of year. We've come off summer, and so I was really excited to team up with Brew just because working on my gut health sounds really good. Honestly, it's a huge thing for me, especially with my skin. And I love what Brew does. The main component in Brew is psyllium husk, which is scientifically proven to help with diarrhea, constipation, blood pressure, and weight loss. And just a little bit on how it works. You take this supplement daily and it activates good fiber, then catches the unwanted material in your colon. It creates gut movement and then cleanses it from your body. It works as a prebiotic and it nourishes healthy gut bacteria. I love it because it reduces bloating and digestion and honestly constipation problems. And really it just helps to clean out the intestinal tract, making you more regular than ever, which who doesn't want that? I mean, honestly, I do. And one of the biggest perks, which I love, is that it's really good for your skin. I mean, that is one of the #1 issues that I've realized with my skin is that I have to have a healthy gut. And I have honestly been on the hunt for the perfect supplement to take. And so I feel like I've found it with Brew. So I am hopping in on this with the fall reset is what I like to call it. And you can join the biggest sale yet and get 6 months worth of Brew for up to 65% off. And don't miss out because this is a limited time offer. And if you use my code JONES10, you're going to get an extra 10% off your entire order. So all you need to do is click the link down below and grab your discounted batch of Brew, and only while supplies last. So make sure you click the link down below in the video description. All right, and now we're gonna hop into the next episode of Thrift Like a Stylist. This time of year is always pretty tricky to dress up. We're wanting to jump into all the fun trends, but it's still really hot. And so we've got to figure out how to transition into fall by maybe just teasing it out with a few trends. I even remember September, it's that back to school time of year, and rocking some tweed plaid pants, thinking I'm Cher from Clueless, but really I'm just so sweaty and uncomfortable. And so I've honed in and figured out some of the trends that we can start to work with, but we're not necessarily dying in the heat. So today's focus is going to be all about those trends that we can rock now and help us transition into fall. And I think going to the thrift store is the most magical place to find these things. And I feel like it's all about that hunt and that treasure. I love to find the vintage piece that maybe some of these designers or some of these trends are inspired by. And so we're going to head into Savers. We're going to start looking for those transitional pieces to tease out the trend, but you know, keep it simple while we're in this like weird time of the year, September, and we're still dealing with 85, 90 degree weather. So we're gonna head into the thrift store. I'm gonna share the inspirations behind some of these trends, even ways that I've worn them, and then we're gonna see if we can find some of them right here in the thrift store, and we're just gonna be inspired and finding along the way. The first trend that we're going to talk about, we're going to look for, is the fall shoe, which in particular I'm talking about the loafer. Loafers are perfect because they feel like that schoolgirl vibe, that preppy vibe, and so that always makes me think of fall, but we can totally rock those right now. And I'm loving wearing the loafer with a big chunky sock, and you can do socks now, and especially, you know, going into September, wearing them with dresses, doing that juxtaposition juxtaposition of mixing that kind of like more preppy, boyish with maybe some of the feminine girly pieces. It's a fun way, but you could also do some short skirts, socks, loafers, go classic and wear it with a trouser pant. But I think finding a loafer is really a great way to start teasing some of that fall preppy schoolgirl collegiate vibe, while at the same time keeping it easy and breezy and you're not too concerned about, you know, layered up. All right, so I'm gonna go see if I can find some loafers and even just show you guys examples of what I look for when I look for a good loafer. So first off, I found these Coach loafers, which have more of a slipper feel to them. To be honest, I'm not as much of a fan of this type of a sole when I'm looking for a loafer. I am either looking for a block heel or something a little more chunky. I just feel like it adds that toughness and some of that schoolgirl like mix, the juxtaposition. So I love that these are Coach, but I probably will pass on these because of more of the slipper sole. So I'm going to pass on these, but let's see what else we can find. So I just found this one, which is Oxblood. It has the chunky sole, which I love. And I feel like when it's an Oxblood color, that's a really fun color to really go for the fall feels, because you're playing with that autumnal palette. And it really has some of those fun details of the very preppy Oxford shoe. And again, just having some of that chunkiness and some of that height is what I love, is just that mix of a little bit tough, preppy, and then if you mix it in with a dress or a skirt, you've got that tomboy feel going on. All right, these are really fun. These are Franco Sarto, which I will say is a brand that I like to find at the thrift store. I have a few Franco Sarto shoes. This has the block heel, which is what I always look for. These have some fun little details here at the front and even some studding, which is something that I'm seeing a return to, which is interesting. I'm going to slip these on and see what these look like. So these are cute. I am looking a little bit more for the probably boyish feel. These feel a little more prim and kind of more almost like a ladylike with the shape of it and everything. So this isn't necessarily what I'm looking for, but it does kind of have some of the elements that I love, like the block heel. And one other suggestion is to look in the men's section. I'm always a fan of looking in the men's section. You just never know what you're going to find there as well. Sometimes they put women's pieces in the men's section at thrift stores. You're definitely going to get the classic loafer shoe in the men's section. Now these are too big for me, but they really are what I'm looking for. They've got the block heel, a little bit more of the classic shape. They're black. There's a little bit of a lift to them, but not too much. And I love the idea of pairing these with some socks, more of a maxi dress, or even like a cropped pant, a blazer, and a button down. So I didn't find any loafers that I felt like I needed to take home, and that is really how thrifting goes. You never know what you're gonna find. So we're gonna move on to the next trend, and that is a go-to. Almost every thrift store in the world probably has one of these, and that's a blazer. And I always say, make it better with a blazer. It's just a go-to layer. And I do feel like blazers are a good way to start to tease fall. You can layer it up. They don't have to be too heavy. I mean, I'm wearing a perfect one today that just feels like a light layer on my outfit. If I do get hot, I can take it off. I can throw it over my shoulders. I can tie it around my waist. So you can really play around with the blazer. And to me, it's the perfect transition into fall piece. I love to mainly wear an oversized blazer. I shop it in the men's section. We're going to go there in a second. I love just the classic colors. I like a black, brown, caramel. I love to go with some tans, maybe some greens. They're just easy go-to layers in this transition. I also love belting up a blazer. I think that's a great way to kind of add a level of chicness to the outfit. You can brooch it up. You can put a pocket square in. There's just so many fun options with blazers. And I love, again, mixing it in with that juxtaposition of wearing it over a dress with a skirt. you know, then going full on Annie Hall and doing the trouser pant and the blazer. So there's just, I mean, there's endless options, and really just thrift these. They're so easy to thrift, and you can find, I think, some of the best ones in the thrift store, which is what we're going to go to right now and see if we can find them. As you can see, I've landed in the men's department. I think this is where you should start first, because what I want in a blazer is no extra styling to it. I don't want extra tailoring. I don't want frills and flouts. I just want classic shapes and more of a boxy cut to it. And that's what you're going to find. Again, the color palette is going to be pretty much traditional with navies and grays and blacks and pinstripes. And if you're going to, you know, have a few to work with, this is where you want to start. All right, I'm gonna give you some of my tips on also what I look for. For me, I don't want a double-breasted blazer. I want one that's just, you know, single-breasted and that I can wear open, or I can belt, or I can button. I feel if a double-breasted blazer, you're kind of locked into that styling. It's also cut to be, you know, worn that way, so it's got some extra cinching in the waist. I don't love that. Here's something else that I've realized I don't love. I don't like when there's a seam here and here. I like this middle opening there. The way that it hangs is better. When it's like there's like a big flap here, I end up not loving how that sits. And you want to have a little bit of this extra room, because when you do start to layer up in the winter, you can add the sweaters and all of that, and you're not going to feel like caught in your coat. So let me try this one on. All right, so this has everything that I love. It's oversized. It's maybe a little bit too oversized. I would go a little bit smaller than this, but I do like that it kind of hits right there halfway down my hand. That's always my, I don't want them extra long. I don't want it up here. I kind of want right there. It's got that great boxy shape that I love, and just the split here in the back instead of the big flap. And I also really love this charcoaly gray. It's in between gray and black. It's got that great kind of just classic color. I feel like I can wear this with so much. I actually love it with my outfit today. I love the idea, if you want to go super simple, you just add a t-shirt, graphic tee, or just a white tee. You could do a high waist pair of, you know, chino trousers, some loafers. You could do a heel. But then I also love this with a dress, a skirt. And honestly, this is such a good blazer. And this is exactly what I look for. Let's see if we can find any other, you know, options. So here's an example of that cut that I don't love. I don't like this flap. There's something about it. I've realized I don't love it. Maybe you do, and that's totally fine. But it's also about, I think, trying things out and realizing what you love and what you don't love, how you wear things and how you don't wear things. So just kind of being aware of little styling details that make a difference. Something I am seeing a lot of is a pinstripe. I love this gray. Again, kind of a charcoaly gray. It's got a nice tan pinstripe going down. I'm going to try this one on because this looks like it could be a really good fit. This one is perfect. Actually, this one I love. It fits a little bit better than the other one did. The other one was just a bit too boxy. This one has enough, you know, fit to it that I don't feel like I'm swimming in it. And I love this gray with the pinstripe. And the next piece that we're going to dive into is the vest. Vests are an obsession of mine. I realize I have a massive section of them, and I feel like this is one of the easiest ways to start to transition into fall, but we're keeping it sleeveless. We're basically wearing a tank top, and there's so many ways to wear a vest. I mean, if you want to just wear it as a shirt, that's a great option. I love pairing them with some like 1970s pants, going crazy on the neck, and then just wearing a vest. You throw on some Mary Janes, you throw on some loafers, and immediately you feel like you're in that fall feels, but you're not there yet. And if you want, you can grab a layer and pretend you're going to wear it, but you just keep it simple with a vest. I also love wearing a vest with a tie and just skin, vest, tie. You can wear it over, you can wear it as a skinny scarf, you can wear it tucked in like an actual tie. There's so many ways to play around with that idea of menswear without fully committing to it. And then it's a great layer. You can do a button down with a vest. You can wear, you know, a dress with a vest. I love it. Even just some like slip dresses and things like that, adding some of those menswear pieces onto it. And we're not seeing that the vest is going anywhere. It's a classic staple. And again, when I'm at the thrift store, I approach this by often going into the men's section because I do want some of those menswear vests with the pinstripes, the classic feel of the blazer without, you know, going full on blazer. So we're gonna go ahead into the men's section and see if we can find any vests here. I mean, here's a great option of more of a tweed vest, which I love because you're going into the fall with that tweed feel, but you could still wear this when it's warm outside because you've still got sleeveless. And even with something, even depending on the size, if you go boxier, you can cinch this in with a belt and make it work for you now. So here's a good example of just a classic menswear vest. I'm gonna slip this on. We're gonna go over to the tie section and we're gonna play around with some ties. So I've got this one on. I actually really love this heather gray color. And immediately I'm feeling fall, but keeping it easy. I'm gonna head into the tie section and we're gonna play around with some ties. I grabbed two different ties. I love that this had a very graphic print on it and some of the colors feel more fallish and fun to play with. I love that cobalt blue in there. And then I love that this is a, you know, very classic striped tie. It's got the gray in it, it's got the tan and cream. So I'm gonna just show you just a few ways that I like to play around with ties and vests. First of all, you really can just do that skinny scarf style with ties. You don't have to commit to the tie and you could wear it like this. I think this is so much fun. I'm actually kind of loving it thrown on with this outfit. You could go a la Carrie Bradshaw, kind of lump it over here, put a brooch on over the vest. And then you really could go full out and put it on as a tie. So I'm gonna grab the other one and show you that. So this one I've tied as a men's tie, and there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube or TikTok or anything if you wanna learn how to tie a tie. But I actually really just love it with skin, tie, and the vest open. But you could also go ahead and button the vest and wear it, you know, as if you have a button down on, but then have fun kind of styling it up. I love it even with a belt, cinching it here at the waist. And again, kind of going back to the idea of it tied and broaching it up, taking it already tied and doing that kind of off to the side. It can just add some interest to the outfit. It feels like fall, but we're wearing it now in August and September, and I'm really loving that. Our next piece is one of my best friends, and that's a skirt. I love my versatile separates, and I love a skirt. Skirts have been really having a moment, and as we go into fall, looking for some of that, we're going back to the schoolgirl vibe, but some of those pleated skirts, and in particular more of a kick pleat, which are the wider pleat skirt. And think of Miu Miu, even Prada, some of those references of that very like prim pleat, but then how could we mix it up and make it work for now? And I love the idea of taking a kick pleat skirt and then pairing it with a knee-high boot. You can totally rock that now with bare legs and just put a boot on then that, and you can keep it simple on top. You could do a tank top, a vest. You could throw on a blazer if you want, even wearing it with just a button down, loose and open, a kick pleat skirt and knee-high boots, or throw on the ballet flats that are everywhere right now with that ballet core in mind. Taking some of those inspirations and throw bows in your hair and, you know, maybe add more of a lace top on top. I even love the idea and have worn it with, you know, a knit tank where I can wear that, you know, in those September weeks where I've got a knit tank, teasing fall, wearing it with the kick pleat skirt, going with even like a low-rise belt and some knee-high boots. So I feel like this is such a great way to get that kind of schoolgirl preppy feel and then just making it work for the season that we're in. So searching through the skirt section, that's where of course I'm gonna head. I am looking for some of those schoolgirl elements. So this one is navy. It's that vintage stretch material. It's a kick pleat, which is this wider pleat. And I actually love that this is elastic waist because that means I can wear it high or low. And I do have a jumpsuit on today, so I'm gonna slip it on and show you what I'm talking about. And something I always look for is the vintage tag. To me, that's just so much fun to see. And you can see this vintage tag, James Kenrob by something, I don't know, Salton. So I love seeing the vintage tag inside these pieces. This one is so cute because I can wear that low rise and even take reference from Miu Miu and wear my little bloomers from Under Club up higher, or a pantyhose over top a shirt. I'm going to show you reference images right here. And you could go higher if you want, but also keep it low, do a belt here at the hips. And I love the idea of this with a Mary Jane, a ballet flat, and I really do also love it with a boot. So this is a really great kick pleat option. I love this. And then our last two items to look for are accessories. There's so much power in the accessory. It can change an outfit, and I feel like it is such a great way to hop into fall. I love the idea of a skinny scarf right now. I think it's just a fun way to add a little print, color, even showing you with that tie. It just adds something to the outfit. It feels like a layer without too much layers. And I feel like thrift stores are such a great place to find scarves in general and skinny scarves in particular. So we're gonna head into the scarf section and see what skinny scarves are available today. Not a ton of options today, but I did find this one, which I think is really cute. It's got more of the red and the black, and it does feel more moody. I would probably prefer more of a long one because I like the idea kind of going around the neck and then adding some of that fun and that pop of color right there. But this is a good option. So we're not necessarily looking for the square scarf. We're looking more for the skinny scarf when you're out and about at the thrift stores. But let's see if there's any other options. So unfortunately today I didn't find a ton of skinny scarves, but they're definitely out there in the thrift stores. So I feel like that's such a great thing to look for, and I love it paired with, I wore it with a short sleeve button down, skinny scarves necklace, some high-waist trouser pants. I just feel like it's just one more little added dash of magic to your outfit. The next accessory that's amazing in teasing out fall is the hat. And in particular, I think a beret is a really fun way to do that because it does feel like a fall hat, but it's only on your head. You could wear it with whatever you want. I found two options. It was a really cute, colorful argyle one. This feels very Cher. I feel like Cher might wear this one, but I feel like this is such a fun way to tease out fall. I'm gonna head to the mirror and style up and put on a few berets. Okay, I also found this orange one, which, hello, pumpkin spice season is upon us. This is so cute. It's a little pop of color on top of your outfit. It feels like fall, but again, you're not committing to anything. I loved how Kenzo used berets on their collection, and so that's definitely always an inspiration for me when it comes to styling up a beret. And it really is that schoolgirl feeling. I guess what I've realized today is we're just looking for schoolgirl when we're in that transition. And then this one is so much fun. I feel like this is totally Cher from Clueless. Just all the fall feels with the argyle, but then it's got these really fun colors, and that is just such a simple way to add that to the outfit, and immediately you're in fall. All right, we have searched through the whole store, checked off all those boxes of some of the things that I'm looking for that I love to style up in this in-between time, and it's just, the thrift store is the best place to do it. I think it's so much fun. You never know what you're gonna find, and I feel like it's also those finds that inspire outfits habits and not necessarily being, you know, that stuck in that you have to wear something a certain way. It's really about finding the find, letting it kind of be in your brain, and then sparking new ideas, bringing it into your closet and playing in your dress-up closet. And this was so much fun to do with you all. I love doing these Thrift Like a Stylist series. They're just really the way I approach a thrift store, and I love sharing that with you. So if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I have new videos every single Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, if you click the link down below and subscribe to the weekly scoop email that comes out every single Tuesday, and it's just full of inspiration, fun, more videos. I share people who have used the Always Play Dress Up hashtag over on Instagram, and it's just a magical little note that hits your inbox on Tuesdays. And finally, always play dress up. Bye.